my screen time used to be a whopping 9 hours a day. I used to constantly avoid tasks, procrastinate on work, skip workouts, and I honestly couldn't focus on anything. For years, I spent most of my time scrolling on the couch. But fast forward to now and my screen time barely hits 1 hour a day. I've regained my focus, reclaimed my attention, and I genuinely love how I spend my time. And so I want to take you through the 4-stage framework of what I did to cut my screen time by 80% so that you too can make this big shift. Number 1, what are you trying to escape? In order to first change our behavior, we need to first understand what is the root cause that started it in the first place. For me, back when I was addicted to social media, I was very unhappy with many things in my life. I had severe social anxiety. I left school when I was 15 and so I had no qualifications. I was always stressed and I had no personal hobbies or interests, and so I was using scrolling as a way to cope with my life. And I believe this is true for many others today. Many people are unhappy with certain areas of their life, but instead of addressing the root cause, we turn to distractions to numb our pain. This then becomes an ongoing habit because our brain learns that the best way to cope with difficult emotions is through scrolling. And before we realize it, we're stuck in a cycle, scrolling 7 hours every day. And so the first step to overcoming your phone addiction is to understand, what are you trying to escape? Is it that you're in a relationship you're unhappy with? Is it that you have no time for yourself because you're always looking after the kids? Is it that you're stressed out from working long hours at your job? A few months ago, I worked with a client who was super unhappy with their screen time. They had spent years stuck in a rut. They were disconnected from themselves and all of their time was spent on YouTube. But once we identified the root cause of their pain, which is that they were really unhappy with their job and the long working hours, we were able to get clarity on what is their next step for changing this. And so number 1, we created an action plan for them to change jobs. Number 2, we built up a positive morning routine to help them manage stress. And number 3, we introduced other ways for them to spend their time. And because these other areas of their life started to improve, naturally their screen time decreased and they became much more fulfilled in their life. And by the way, if you like the sound of that transformation and you want more guidance on how to reduce your screen time and reclaim your time, then click the link in the description to find out more. But you need to start asking yourself the question, what is it in my life that I'm trying to escape from? And I would recommend doing a brain dump where you write out everything that's in your head out on paper. At the end of the day, a high screen time is usually just a symptom of a deeper cause. And so becoming more aware of the root cause is the first step to changing the problem in the long term. Number 2, reasons come before results. You can't expect to see results with your screen time if you first don't have a good enough reason. Because change is uncomfortable, it can be boring, it can be lonely, and no productivity technique, app blocker, or quick hack will fix your screen time if your why isn't strong enough. Because at some point you're going to face an uncomfortable emotion, whether it's anxiety, whether it's boredom, whether it's loneliness. And in that moment, your brain is going to beg you to go back to the old habit because that's what feels familiar and safe. And so this is why change has to start deeper than just surface level tactics. You need to understand yourself so that when things do get uncomfortable, you don't quit. And so you need a reason for changing that actually matters to you. Not, I want to be more productive, or I just want to use my phone less. But instead, you need something real. You need something emotional. Something like, I'm tired of wasting my life away and feeling disconnected. My health is declining because I barely move and constantly scroll. I'm not present for my kids and it's damaging our relationship. My mental health is getting worse and I'm scared where this leads to. And so I want you to try something powerful. Look 5 years into the future and ask yourself, what will happen if nothing changes? Be honest, what will this habit cost you if you keep going? How will it affect your health, your relationships, your confidence, your potential? You should spend at least 30 minutes writing and thinking about these questions. Because when you clearly see the painful future you're heading toward, it becomes much harder to keep making excuses. For me, that moment came when I looked at my life and realized that I've been scrolling for 3 years. I kept on avoiding responsibility and making excuses, and when I finally looked at the road I was heading down, It was a very dark path. And so that was enough to wake me up, and that became my reason to change. And when your reason is clear enough and it actually matters to you, you'll be able to sit with the discomfort and the boredom and the feelings that are going to come up because you have a bigger purpose to change. And deep down you know that the pain of change is temporary, but the pain of staying the same lasts much longer and is full of regret. Number 3, gain clarity on your next step. There's a simple formula for change that Tony Robbins talks about. Number 1, decide what you're absolutely committed to achieving. Number 2, take action. Number 3, notice what's working and what isn't. Number 4, adjust your approach until you get the results you want. And so everything starts with the first step, deciding what you are going to achieve. If you don't clearly decide what you are moving towards, then you'll keep falling back into what you're trying to escape, your phone. That's why you need to get clarity on the next step beyond the screen. So start asking yourself, if I change this behavior, what would my ideal outcome be? How do I want to spend my time? What would my future self be doing instead of scrolling? What's the first area of my life that I'm willing to improve? Maybe it's your health, such as going to the gym and moving your body more. Maybe it's your career, applying for new jobs or learning a new skill. Maybe it's creativity, starting a hobby, learning, reading, or creating something meaningful. Earlier, we talked about identifying what you might be trying to escape from. And so now comes the next step. Choose one thing that you're willing to start moving towards. Not 10 things, not a complete life overhaul, but just one focus. You want to define it clearly. What is my top priority for these next few weeks or months? What deserves my attention right now? Because here's something important to realize, but a lot of people waste time on their phones, not because they're lazy, but they waste their time because they have nothing meaningful to give their attention to. And the only difference between you and someone who's fit, confident, successful, or building something meaningful isn't to do with talent or luck, but it's where they place their attention. They spend their time on actions that move them forward, not on actions that distract them. And so the moment you stop pouring your attention into your phone, but you give your attention to the right actions, you will become a completely different person. So you need to decide what is one thing you're committed to improving starting from today. Define your direction and start moving towards it. And number 4 is environmental changes. You might have noticed that up until now in the video, I haven't given you any hacks. I haven't told you to delete your apps, turn your phone to grayscale, or just create more to-do lists, because those tactics are only around 20% of the equation. The other 80% is psychological, which is why I wanted to take you through those points first. But there is still one more very important piece that most people overlook: your environment. There was once a study done in a hospital cafeteria where they replaced one fridge of soda machines with water, and they placed more water at the checkouts. And there was still access to soda in one fridge, and so they didn't lecture people about drinking less soda. They didn't talk about health or willpower. All they did was change the environment. And automatically, just from this simple shift, water sales increased and soda sales decreased. All because of where they placed them in the cafeteria. And your phone works the exact same way. Depending on how your environment is set up, you will default to whatever's easiest in the moment, not what's best. That's why if you want to reduce your screen time, you don't just need more discipline, but you need to redesign your environment so that the right behavior becomes automatic. So, number 1, change where your phone lives. Charge your phone outside your bedroom, or at least across the room from you, not by your bedside table. If it's not in arm's reach, you won't automatically grab it in the morning or at night. Number 2, make your phone harder to access. Keep your phone in another room while you work or eat. Put it face down or inside of a drawer so that you can't see it, or if you're going for a walk outside, put it in the bottom of your bag instead of your pocket. When it takes more effort to reach for it, you will reach for it less. Number 3, remove visual triggers. For example, log out of your social media accounts or move addictive apps from your home screen. Or maybe even delete them entirely and only use the desktop version. When something is out of sight, it will be out of mind. Number 4, create phone-free zones. For example, decide in advance if you will have no phones in the bedroom, no phone at meal times, no phone during conversations, no phone during workouts. When you set clear rules, you're way less likely to negotiate with yourself. And number 5, use friction. For example, turn off all non-essential notifications. Set app limits that you can't override, or log out of your apps so that you have to sign in every time. Every small inconvenience will help to reduce your impulsive use and stop you from automatically reaching for it. When the negative behavior is hard to do, change becomes automatic. Click here to learn how to find peace in a distracted world, and I hope this video helped you. All the best.